So I just saw Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings on the screen. The link online is now in cinemas. It's going to be on Disney Plus on October 18th, roughly. And I was really looking forward to this movie because the trailers looked good and I thought they were going for a different approach. I was also really curious to see how Marvel will represent Asians after representing Africans so well in Black Panther. But my hype was to an extent because obviously Black Widow was fine, but it just wasn't that great. And plus, two other Asian-led superhero movies, Mortal Kombat and Snake Eyes, weren't really that great. So this movie, I was really hoping that it'd be Marvel's first good movie in a while. Counting on Shang-Chi to be like the great kickstart to the last 3 months of 2021, where we get quality movies. And I'm genuinely glad to say that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is a really good film. I think you're really going to enjoy it. The reviews are correct. This is really good. First of all, I really like the action in this movie. I think it's some of the best action in the MCU. And even if you do think that this movie is bad or mediocre, which I doubt, you 100% should go back to the action sequences because with or without a film, you can't deny that the action in this film is incredible. I also really like the cinematographies. I think Marvel have created a really nice looking, energetic film that's very different compared to their other movies like Avengers Infinity War or Thor Ragnarok. Not like the movies I've mentioned are bad, but it's just that you get my point. Most MCU movies kind of do look the same. But Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings does look very different, which is very refreshing and very new to what we've got in the past. And as you've come to expect from any random film, all the acting is brilliant. I think all the actors have done a really good job in this film, especially how do you say it? Let me check on that.
Simu Liu.
Simu Liu is really great as Shang-Chi. I think he comes off as a young Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. I think that he's really great in the action scenes. He's also very likable as well. I think he could have a very strong future in the MCU, and I plan to see more of him as this character of Shang-Chi. Awkwafina is also really good in the movie. She has a lot of jokes and she's played off as the comic relief. But she's also very relatable because she really wants to learn more about this friend she's known for 10 years or so, who has had to hide his past ever since they met. But anyway, Awkwafina was a great side character. The comedy in general in this movie is okay. I don't think it's terrible. It's just like, I don't really care. It's not that funny, but at least it doesn't really drag like most comedy in the MCU. It just goes by and that's it. I'm just saying that the comedy did work well at most points, but overall the comedy was just fine. If you laughed at it, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna hate on you for that. But it's really hard to get a laugh out of me unless it's really funny. And the film's Asian representation I need to discuss because obviously this is Marvel's first Asian-led movie. Yeah, it's good. Not as great as Black Panther's African representation, but it does its job well. The Asian actors are all very likable. They all work well. I like how Marvel are doing some more diversity with their movies. I think it's really nice how they're having a great variety of races in their movies, like white, black, Asian, mixed race. I like how they're having like a mix of it. But the Asian representation in this movie, yes, it's there. It's pretty good, but obviously not as strong as Black Panther's. I understood the exploration, but I think they could have explored it a little bit more. Okay, now I've talked about some flaws already in the middle of the video, but I do want to mention a few things that kind of bugged me in this film, even though it's pretty good. First of all, I think the inclusion of most MCU characters, like for example, we got Abomination and Wong, as we've seen in the trailers and many of our articles. And no spoilers, but there's a mid-credit scene featuring 2 MCU characters. One I didn't see coming, and the other I was expecting due to the director's involvement in this film. To be fair, I think those are all my complaints. The villain, yeah, I would rather talk about later because obviously the movie just came out. I'll probably talk about it in another video. So overall, I thought Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was a great film. I think it was a great MCU movie. The performances were great. The story was decent. The pacing was actually pretty good. And the soundtrack was amazing. I liked all the music that played throughout the movie. It's kind of fresh and also very I like how it's hip-hoppy like Black Panther's soundtrack. But I can highly recommend Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings if you just want to have a good time. Don't expect something like Infinity War or Winter Soldier, but just expect a standard MCU movie that's a one-time watch that's good fun. I want to give Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings 8 out of 10. I was going to give the movie a 7, but I realized I gave Black Widow the same grade. And I actually enjoyed this movie a bit more than that film. So yeah, the 8 out of 10 is deserved. It's a light 8 out of 10. It's not going to be as culturally significant as Black Panther. It's not going to earn as many Oscar nominations than that film, but regardless, I could see it picking up an Oscar too. I think that the action is great, and this is a must-see MCU movie on the big screen. I really enjoyed this movie. I hope you did too. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Look forward to more videos very soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see all of you next time. Peace.